Yo, what's up world? I'm Mr. Yazzieyaz and welcome to the New Reality channel. And on this episode of the New Reality Vlogs, I'm going to be taking you guys behind the scenes on the music video that I'm shooting and editing for these guys I know around town. They're local. They're called Young Rich Kids, Brisk and Day Day. I know these guys since I was in 8th grade, and this is going to be the first music video that I'm going to shoot for them, and I can't wait. It's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be pretty cool, and I'm just going to take you guys behind the scenes for this music video, and this music video will definitely be a part of New Reality Studios. So I'm going to be taking you guys again behind the scenes on what goes down and how I do things and how I orchestrate, how I direct, and how I put these things together. So I hope you guys come along and learn some things, and I hope you guys pick up some things that you can use for your video shoot or whatever, or just whatever. Just be entertained by this or whatever. And yeah, that's about it. So peace.
If I don't got it, my boo got it. Car start up like Ducati.
Alright, so first thing first, when you're about to shoot a music video is to unload and get your equipment together. Then once I did, the first scene I shot was the parking lot scene, and these scenes don't have very cool, interesting names. I'm gonna just keep it straightforward for this behind the scenes. At this point, I'm setting the lights up and the light bars or the lightsabers on the tripods to get the lighting set up and thinking on how I'm gonna get this first scene done. Also, for this music video, I will be using my Canon N50 with my Sigma 16mm lens for this. Also, while shooting in 4K, the Canon N50 has a APS-C sensor, which causes the crop frame while in 4K. So while shooting a video, it's like trying to put a puzzle together from start to finish. Now, I'm kind of playing around to see what works and what doesn't, and I also got tape for the artists to mark their positions to stay in certain areas. So this is how I got my lighting set up. My key light over there, fill light here, the lightsabers as backlighting, and this bar as underlight. Then use the street light as headlighting. But I didn't follow the lighting intensity rule for this one, and this is how it came out. Now for the tree scene, this was probably my favorite scene out of the whole thing, because for the last scene and the beginning of this scene, I was shooting this on my Weeble S gimbal, and at first it was hard to get the focus right on auto and manual, and it was difficult holding the gimbal with one hand and trying to focus with the other hand. So I just ditched the gimbal and shot the rest of the video handheld, which gave me more room to do what I want. Then shot a majority of B-roll in this scene. So this was my lighting setup choice with my key light over there and my fill light here. Light bars as backlighting using blue and red over there, which gives off a nice hint of blue and red off the subjects here. And if you didn't tell already, my fill light has a white t-shirt over it as a diffuser, which I've been using on a lot of my videos, and it works for me. Then this was my final outcome. Now this scene was probably my second favorite because of the lighting, and it was cool how the fins gave me an opportunity to tape a light bar onto it as a source of backlighting, and the light kept it secure for this scene. I also had tape marking, again to keep the artist from moving too forward. And this was my lighting setup choice, and this was a unique setup as I was trying to experiment and ended up liking it. It may not look like it makes sense, but I used my big light and my light bar as key and fill, while both on each side being the opposite color. So my big light on the left side is blue and the light bar on the left is red, while the big light on the right is red and the light bar being blue. Then I used a white color as backlighting. I really fuck with using the red and blue lighting setup, as it always gave me a intended vibe from it, but again, I was trying something new for this whole video shoot with my lighting, especially using two lights parallel from each other using an opposite color choice. Then this was my final outcome. Now the fourth scene was also a unique lighting setup choice, as I was trying to do one setup but didn't like how it looked on camera, then did something almost like the last scene.
If I don't got it, my boo got it. Car start up like Ducati. Made it here, I'm a shooting star. If I'm getting high, I roll to the star. Clip along my neck too. Would last the sex too. Put it on me like ooh.
This was my lighting setup with my key light right here and then my fill light over there using a light bar with the color blue. Then I used both the big light and the light bar as backlighting, while one being white and the other being blue. So in one direction is white and the other direction is blue, also using the light pole as headlighting. Now at this point I'm just breaking all kinds of lighting rules and making my own. But this was the final outcome and it doesn't look all that bad, as I was satisfied with it. Now for the fifth scene is the interior and exterior of the gas station, as this would be my first time shooting within an establishment, and it all worked out in the end with no problems.
Early in the morning, we steady blowing like bagpipes. Know them niggas chosen, I seen this shit in my past life. You can have what you want and it's guaranteed if you pass right. Go mode, get on your helmet, something like.
Once again, I used marking tape to keep the artist from moving too forward and went with another blue and red lighting setup, as I thought it would be more appropriate, as the background Arco gas station had some hint of blue and red color going on, but also being white. This was my lighting setup, almost identical to the fence scene, but on the left side being the color blue and the other being red. And if you compare the two, this scene definitely had stronger tones since both sides had one color to each, which came out more cleaner. Once we wrapped up with the exterior shots, we came into the AM PM gas station with the clerk being cool with us filming inside, so shout out to that lady. But we had to keep the lights outside, but it was alright, since the interior had enough natural lighting we could use. This shot was cool, no one was tripping, and we just did our thing inside. And yes, I know a lot of the GoPro footage kind of captures the moments, but not truly, and I apologize. And for our future behind the scenes, we'll definitely capture better angles since the GoPro was strapped to my chest. But next time I'll have a more better angle to get everything. So once we were done with the gas station scene, we then walked not too long to where we were originally shooting, and we were almost done. But I wanted to add one more scene to really solidify this music video shoot, so it was almost a wrap. I just packed my things up and we went to the next location I had in mind for a while, and this is how the scene came out. Now for the sixth and final scene, we shot this on a medium divider in the middle of the road without actually being on the road. I was going to use a diffuser on the big light, but just thought the shot without the diffuser would get more exposure, and also had someone hold a light bar horizontally, being red for Day and blue for Brisk. I used an underlighting as a white color for both brisk and day-day scenes, and again had someone hold up the light bar horizontally as headlighting, with one scene being red and the other being blue. Once we shot those scenes, it was a wrap and we called it a day, packed up, and we went our ways. And this is the final outcome. And this is a sneak peek of how the music video came out, but if you want to watch the whole thing, just go to our channel and you'll see it. And if you want to watch our podcast episode with Young Rich Kids on the New Reality Check podcast, you'll be able to find that on our channel. And both links will be in the description. I know this behind the scenes may have been a little choppy, but after my first 10 vlogs, I'll definitely have more of an idea which route I want to go. One thing I do want to say before I end this video is that this was one of my first videos where I didn't shoot with a 50 shutter speed, as I always followed the shutter speed rule on every shoot. But once I got more comfortable, I broke that rule and shot this video with an 80 shutter speed, because I had recognized while shooting at 50 shutter speed would cause almost a blur on the artist if they moved around too much. So once I caught on to that, I decided to up the shutter speed, breaking that sacred rule. I say this because once you do something new, you're supposed to follow certain rules, but once you feel confident and more comfortable, you can make up your own rules and break them. As for my lighting setups in this shoot may look obscure to the professionals, I just followed the lighting rules while breaking some of them along the way to get more of a better picture. I view myself as an intermediate videographer, and there are definitely things I still need to work on and things I need to learn, and I made this video just to take you guys behind the scenes and how I do things. So this was the night BTS, and if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe to follow our journey, watch the music video and our podcast with Young Rich Kids, and follow our social media to follow our process. And thank you to those still watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.